Hey everyone, as you might have seen, AI browsers are the buzzword right now. You might have heard about Comet, Fellou, Dia, or even ArcMax. You probably heard about the hype. They say that these browsers would actually change the way you work, research, and write by actually thinking and acting for you. But here's the real question: do they actually deliver? And more importantly, which one would actually fit your style and needs? So, whether you are a power user who loves automating workflows, maybe you are a busy manager who's drowning in emails, maybe you are someone who's a creative soul who's lost in words right now, or just someone who wants a faster, smarter browsing experience, I've got you covered. So let's break down and see what these browsers can actually do, where do they shine, and where they actually fall short of real autonomy. Uh, let's dive in. So let's look at Fellou. Fellou is actually the power user's playground. It is basically an AI Lego for your workflows. If you wanted to scrape data, call APIs, push updates to Notion, Airtable, or Slack, Fellows actually got you. So imagine saying that you wanted to run a few different things parallelly. Let's say get trending post on Product Hunt, summarize, draft a LinkedIn post, and drop it on Notion. So as you can see, it basically goes and starts in the deep action process. It would actually think through the process. It would create multiple different steps which it would run. And after that, as soon as you hit run, you can see it takes over the browser and starts running this parallelly in my browser. So, it is basically building your own no-code AI agent right from the browser. So how do you basically get more out of it? You need to design your prompts like building blocks. They need to be clear, modular, and you have to try to simplify the messy ask. You also have to change small tasks into seamless flow. You can also connect it with everyday tools like Notion, Slack, Google Sheets, Zapier before you actually run some of these prompts. If you're ready to tinker, Fellow can definitely become an extension of your brain. So as you can see how it is going through the process and running the whole script, I would let it run and then I would show you what it gets. So as you can see, it has created the Notion page for me. It actually ran for 4 minutes and 28 seconds. Now let's look at Comet. Comet is actually considered the executive assistant for your inbox. So as you can see, this is the landing page of Comet right now. And you can actually ask it to do a couple of things. It can actually look into your emails. It can actually book flights, not book flights, actually find flights. It can actually find meetings which are scheduled for you. It can give you a summary of all that. You can give it multiple contracts. It can actually summarize all of that content. And as you know, Perplexity is very good with research. So definitely this browser is also amazing with research right now. So I've been testing this for multiple things, and I think this is definitely one of the better assistants which I can actually use for my day-to-day tasks. So actually, as you can see, it went through my Gmail and it was actually able to look at what are the different emails which I got. It's actually talking about the notification, the rent, and a couple of other things which I actually got, in my mailbox. So, how to get more out of it? Treat Comet like a real assistant and not just a browser or a search engine, and it would really shine and you would be able to get a lot of things done by yourself. Next, let's look at Dia. Dia is basically the creative co-pilot. So Dia is basically all about text, summaries, rewrites, explaining jargons. It is actually perfect for writers, students, and creators. So think about make this blog post sound more casual, explain the financial term like I'm 5 years old, summarize this 40-minute YouTube lecture. So these are the tasks which Dia is very capable of, I would say. And how do you get more out of this? Ask for multiple rewrites, that pick your favorite, use it early, generate ideas and not just polish drafts with it. And let it also critique your work. Where could this be clearer? It could actually help you figure out different ways of writing different things. Dia is not just an editor, it actually sparks new angles and fresh ideas. So, where do they still fall short? Here's actually the hard truth. None of these browsers actually watch, remember, or act without your prompt. They don't say, hey, you usually do X on Fridays, want me to draft it? Real autonomy is what AI that learns your habits and act unprompted. It is still in the future, not the present. So, bottom line, who should pick what? Fellow is for basically builders and power users who want to chain different tasks and automate. Comet is for busy managers and founders who want a real assistant to handle email and logistics. Dia is actually for writers, students, creators who need help brainstorming and rewriting and summarizing. They actually won't replace you, but if you use them right, they can actually take a surprising chunk of grunt work off your plate. Thank you, and let me know if you're able to try some of the browsers and what do you feel about them.